Mm. Now you have Aftermath, right?
No, not yet.
Aftermath comes with the character packs, though, or is that separate? No, to get the certain characters, though, you have to get Aftermath.
Yeah, I have to buy Aftermath.
I bought it when it came together with Mortal Kombat. Like, it was basically the whole Ultimate Edition was $20 for download.
Yeah.
I said, fuck it. Why not?
I have to sync the game, actually.
Right now I'm trying to like, put more time into this. Come on, Ghost. Alright. Thank you, YouTube. You're not so biased against Japanese after all.
Yeah.
I laugh because I realize one thing, and you can tell me this is true. You know how parents get at us when they say we're being contradictive, but yet their disciplinary actions are the most contradictive thing on the planet?
Yes. Most parents are hypocritical as fuck.
Because, like, here it is. Let's say if you got disciplined for something, but you're in the right, like, you're in the right, and you know you shouldn't get this in, but they'll flat out say, well, it's what I say. I'm like, then you're changing my narrative. That's why people used to hate disciplining me growing up.
Yeah.
Because I used to say, only my dad and my mother have that right. And a lot of my sisters didn't like that. And same with my, same with some of the school. I didn't give a fuck. Let me tell you how the school worked. You know how before they suspend you, they're supposed to call in your parent to talk to them, like to bring them into the school?
Yeah.
They didn't do that. They would give me the disciplinary first, then tell me to tell her afterwards. I'm like, so just to screw me over, you gotta go break your own rules? And then my mom was like, well, why is the kid who started with my son only off for a week and my son has 2? I wasn't bitching, I was playing the PS3.
Yeah. Back in my day, I was playing the Super Nintendo.
And then the one argument they hated having with me, they were like this, if you're sick, you can't use your hands. I said, what's wrong with my chest and stomach have nothing to do with my hands. I can play laying down. And they were like, well, you have to get up. And they forgot that my cousin that year had bought me a wireless PlayStation 2 controller.
Oh, nice.
Then when my mom's ex, he was like this. He never knew that I had a Game Boy SP. He assumed that I had the DS that my mom bought me at the time. He took that, like, cause it was the DS that could play the Game Boy cartridge. They could play the Game Boy cartridges and everything. So
I just placed. Congratulations, you placed in the top 3.7 percentile in the Towers of Time.
You should check. Does it let you check your friends? Because mine, I bust my ass in Tower of Time.
Yeah, I got the Cryonite skin for Jade, the announcer voice of Johnny Cage.
I got the classic. You know if you play it long enough, there's supposed to be a reward where you get the classic commentator.
Oh, I would love that.
I have one of the classic. Because here's the thing, it's the classic commentator, not just from the first game. It's like there's multiple, like from each of the games, but you have to find the specific voice. It won't tell you which MK. It'll say classic MK voice actor, but then when you turn the ability on, it'll tell you which game it came from.
Yeah. I will say this about Jax in the story mode. Future Jax, I like the fact he was a broken man.
Because think about it, he's the only one that never gained powers or none of that. He has to deal with the handicap, so to speak.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about it. And he lost so much and had a mental breakdown.
Anyway, my bad, Conjure.
I'm unlocking the thing. I'm gonna unlock is the chameleon skin for Jade, so I can make my own custom chameleon character.
Tell me one time. Oh, yeah, my bad. Go ahead, keep on.
What I'm gonna do with it is equip. I'm gonna make it have Katana, the consumables of Katana's fans, Melina's sides, and Tanya's sickles
Mm.
to be considered chameleon.
So tell me this conundrum: would this be a trick you pulled off? Let's say if you had, were you ever lucky to have like you? I'm pretty sure you had a Game Boy Color and a Game Boy Advance at some point. And if you were young enough,
Yeah.
if you were young enough for your parents to still do things to you, like disciplinary.
Oh yeah, no. My parents last time they disciplined me when I was 15, because my mom smacked me, and I pulled a psych out move by saying, "Ooh, thank you, I love that." Freaked my mom the fuck out.
I ended up having well, no, I did something psychopathic, but there was injuries involved. Not to my mom, but to the person that provoked her to do the disciplinary.
Oh.
Because there's just certain kids you cannot hit. If you hit kids that have disabilities, even if you find it out, you're gonna cause them in a way. Like when I went to a psychiatrist and my mom was shocked to hear the news. They were like, "Ma'am, your son has military grade PTSD," and I'm amazed how controlled he is.
Oh.
She's like, "Wait, where did he get that from? I thought you would only get that if you go to war." She's like, "Things must have happened to him." And then she smacked it because I used to tell her, I was like, my sister's always abused me, right? Not in the wrong way, but like in the just beating me to the point where
Physically?
yeah, tough. Well, remember, there's two different physicallys, I'm not talking about that one.
Yeah.
I'm talking about more so, I'm gonna fuck your ass up if we fight.
Yeah, I know. Oh no. Not the physical I'm thinking.
Yeah, no. That's one thing I'll say. They never gone that crazy. They will never go that crazy. But I had to deal with religious ass beatings at the time. You ever had one of those?
Yeah, no. I had my dad was military. So basically I had the verbal abuse.
Oh, okay. Well, no, you didn't get the Lord's hammer.
No, I got basically everything military based after me. And it came to a point that I punched my dad out. Thing I regret. And my dad told me that he was proud of me for doing that because I was the only one who ever stood up to him of all 8 of us.
I buried my family, one by one. It took days.
So this is what's gonna make you laugh, Conundrum. It was a 3.
And you had to, John, you had to know, my dad was a drill instructor.
Mmm.
Yeah. So I know what it's like. It's similar to religious, but I was in a more religious aspect of a soldier.
So yeah. Oh yeah. But here's the thing. If see, this is what happened one day. My favorite game to play on the 3DS was my Legacy of Goku trilogy. So, you know what this asshole did? He took my Game Boy, because I used to use it as a decoy. I had the Game Boy Advance with the light that would, the little light attachment so I could see. He took that away, but he let the Game Boy run dry off its batteries with Legacy of Goku in it to mess up my save file. And get this, I had already saved and took off the what's it called? I was able to peel off the sticker and put it on one of my other empty game card, like one of my game cards that I did not really play. All I did was take the sticker off and put it on there. So he thought he ran it dry, and I just took one. When he would come back from work and he's obviously drinking and sleeping in the living room, I'm in my bed in the blanket playing it on the SP. I'm like, stupid bastard. Then he eventually caught on, and one day when I came home, I saw that my TV and my PlayStation 2 was out the room, and he wasn't home. And I called my mom, and she said she had no idea he did that. So guess what happened? He came home, his not PS3, but his PS2 and all his Madden games were broken on the ground. Because he was one of those guys where he treated Madden more than his woman. So I was like, I knew where to hurt his pride, and he had a fear of getting his ass beat by a younger kid. Because he's like, oh, he always talk that shit. Because his son for that age was a huge kid. He was always afraid his son would beat his ass. I was like, your own son can whoop your ass. Why you gonna test another lady's son? That's how we used to talk to. That's how I used to talk to him. I didn't give a damn. Oh, what up, G-Bane?
He was the person who was like in a sense, like the stereotypical lion.
He wanted to come in and run the house.
No, what I mean by a lion is basically he thought himself as the king, and he didn't want his throne usurped.
Basically, he always had an issue with me. Like one time, he literally came to my friend's house and said that. And here's the thing: this is how you know there's a hole in the story. My mom could tell you this with a passion. I hate sports. I don't give a fuck about them. They're stupid. So why would I leave out a NBA basketball game out its case if I won't even touch it?
Yeah.
So he says, nope, I expect all his shit out the room. I was like, that's fine. Then I'm gonna expect all your stuff outside by the time you come home. He's like, you don't make that kind of call. I will, and I told him, it's like, I may not make that kind of call, but I'll act on that call.
Yeah.
He says, if my shit outside, so help me God, I will. I was like, what are you gonna do? The same shit you won't do to your son. So one day he came to my friend's house, tried to start that problem. My friend had to grab me because he had to run away because I was eating. I had a fork in my hand, and the moment he started talking to us and he walked a foot into the door, I missed, but I lunged the fork. He got out of the way and it got stuck in the wall.
Damn.
So I wasn't playing no games with him.
So everybody, don't mess with this guy in dinner because he'll stab you with a fork.
No, it wasn't. Okay, imagine if your stepdad just came to walk into your friend's house to try to curse you out while you're there chilling. You had no idea what's going on. I was like, you know what? And I used to tell him this. I was like this. You're only with my mom because your family don't want you, and your family won't miss you if I handle you. Like, he used to get so close to trying to strike. Like, he never struck me. He pushed me at best, and that's when he met the frying pan.
Damn.
And it was still hot too. And I was like this, oh you're black, the stains won't be seen. Because he used to call me all types of racist shit for Latinos. I was like, I used to call him all types of racist black shit in the house. So it was only like he was with my mom for about 8 years, and that was like the worst fucking 8 years. She had to always send me to my dad or send me to my sisters just to make sure me and this dude didn't kill each other. And I really wasn't the one that would antagonize. Like, I wouldn't antagonize him. He would come to look for a reason to get me mad so he can take some sort of action. And my mom wasn't stupid.
Believe me, I could tell a story about my dad and mom that's funny as fuck. When my dad and mom were together, my dad's British, my mom's Irish, so my mom will call me an abomination to God, because Irish and British don't mix. And I always laugh at that. The thing is, my mom loves the Doors.
Yeah.
And she has a Doors album autographed by Jim Morrison. My mom was in the kitchen, and my dad was about to say, do you want this autographed Jim Morrison album? I'm just going to throw it away. My mom threw a cleaver, boom, went by my dad's ear and got stuck in the wall.
Damn.
She's like, don't you fucking touch that album. That's autographed by the man I wish I married.
Damn.
Still a funny story to this day. But even though my dad's passed, and when he was alive and they were separated, they used to get together. They would talk about the story and just have a good laugh over it.
Yeah, like nowadays, like you know what? Tell me this dude, because I'm telling you, this dude is such a fucking karma had hit him hard because my mom is still friends with his cousin because his cousin never did anything wrong to us. So she would talk. She's spoken to him recently. The motherfucker is dying. I told her, and I used to tell her. I was like, Ma, all those times I used to warn you that why he wasn't coming home, or like he was coming home real extra late, because I have sleep apnea. I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night. It's gonna happen, and he used to get mad at that too. I was like, I'm just getting water. He's like, go back to bed. I'm like, no, I need to piss too. He's like, well, that means you up out of bed. If you keep getting up out of bed, I'm gonna take your shit. And then I'm like, I'm gonna break your new Madden game. Keep it up. One fucking time, this is what he did. My mom, I was about 13 years old. I played every other Grand Theft Auto game prior, so she had no problem. She bought me San Andreas for my birthday. I came home, he took it saying that, oh, this is not appropriate for someone your age, and I'm like this. I'm like, well, you can't just sit here and play. He's like, I'm a grown man. I can play whatever the fuck I want. And so my mom came home, took the disc, took his Madden disc and sold it and bought me my own copy. She was like, well, you just did a trade-in.
Oh, shit.
And he had to not only give mine back, then he tried to piss me off by saying, oh, I got a game that you're never going to be allowed to play in this house. He pulls out Scarface. I was like, fine, I'm going to my friend's house. Like, you better not play it at your friend's house. I was like, you have no dictatorship over my friend's house.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck are you to tell me? Every time they tell me, oh, you can't play Senate, he told me you can't play Senator, I went right to my friend's house. He says, your friend and you're not allowed to go over there ever again. And my mom would be like, he can come right over. She used to literally just like, she was like this, you did nothing to earn the role in this house. So yes, if I treat him one way, I'm gonna treat you the same way till you earn it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I ain't no fucking child. I don't gotta earn shit. I used to just laugh because I was like, you're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. My mom was more of a hippie. She was that free spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we were both black sheeps of the family, and so we get along with each other. Because my stepdad, who got me he would say, "Oh, you watch anime and comic book cartoons? You're kind of a weirdo." I'm like, "Yeah, but you're the one who introduced me to Speed Racer."
Yeah, what's funny was, yeah, saying like, I used to play the early Budokai, Dragon Ball Z, and Tenkaichi, all that. He's like, only real men play sports games. I was like this, yeah, and they end up with brain damage like you. And he tried to be like, I can play this game, I can take you in it at any point. So he played me. He got embarrassed because I beat him with a Cyberman. And he said, restart the match. You use the weakest character and prove to me I use the strongest character. So in Tenkaichi 3, I was like, go fight. Use Gogeta SS4. Beat him with a Cell Jr.
Damn.
He was like, my controller's busted. I said, you're still using it to play Madden, so how's it busted?
Imagine using Yamcha to kick his ass.
You want her to go there? He thought Broly was a bigger dude. He thought I lied to him saying, that fucking dog-looking dude with the tail ain't no fucking strong fighter. Who's the big steroid guy? I let him use him, used Yamcha.
Oh, damn!
Insult to injury, beat him with the Wolfang's fist.
When you lose the Yamcha, just go home already.
And he says, I could beat you in any one of your fighting games. He used to literally force me to break night just to get me tired so I can loosen up on playing Mortal Kombat, because he couldn't beat me in Deception or Armageddon.
Well, what kind of person did he used to play in Mortal Kombat?
He will go straight for all the people that are cheap.
Shao Kahn?
Yeah, he would go for all those, because he's like, oh, if you're the better player, you can beat all the big men. And I was like, I beat them already.
Yeah,
you're no different. You're insulting them by using them because you're not doing their skills any justice. The computer plays better than you.
The thing is, yeah, Shao Kahn's good because he's a big beefy character. But I use Mileena because she's a quick character.
Well, when we got to Armageddon, where you could use all the giants like Mataro, Goro, Shiva, like all those, he would try to use those and try to. The good thing is that's why I missed the 3D fighting plane, because if they try to do that cheap Shiva or Goro jump in the air, you can dodge it because you're not stuck on a two-dimensional plane. And he used to hate that. He's like, I remember this move back in the day. They made it stupid. It never misses. I said, because I knew back then. I was like, because it's a 2D plane. You're gonna hit somebody, period, because you're just standing across from each other.
Yeah.
There's no maneuverability. And I was like, in a fight, in a real fight, there's maneuverability. We're not just going to be standing across from each other. We will for the start, and then it's going to maneuver.
Yeah.
So after that, I was playing it one night, and then one time I had caught a serious fever. Like I couldn't get out of the bed, and that's when that's when he tried to be nice and take advantage of my mom and say this, hey, you should, you know, give him some Tylenol or something, wake him up, let him play the game with me. I'll play the game with him and play some Mortal Kombat. Maybe that'll help him feel better. So he tried to take advantage of the fact that I wasn't feeling good and that would throw my sticks off. I was like, and I knew what it was, because even with that snot-written face that I was having, obviously it was one of those where I looked like death, where I was a walking death, and I still was beating his ass. He didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
He went straight to bed. He went straight to bed, and I think this one thing I'll tell you he does do when it comes to bets, he will honor his bet. I give him that, because all he did was this. He got up, he left $10 right there. He didn't look at me. He was just like this. He was like, and just walked. And I was like, I was confused because I didn't take it. And he's like, he left them. And then when I went to my room, and the money was on my, because at the time I had a couch in my room. One of my first rooms was big. So he was like this. He was like, oh, you forgot your 10. You did win last night, you know? I was like, I didn't know if you officially, you didn't say nothing. You just left it for there. You know, I'm still not gonna touch your money.
You know, I'll say this: he may be an asshole, but he's an honorable asshole.
Well, not anymore. He's an asshole, snaking out now.
But with you, I could say like that shows he had honor back then.
Now, as I got older, that's when it turned into WWE on a daily.
Oh, damn.
We would argue like we were cutting promos. My mom used to say, as much as my mom wanted to intervene, she knew that, you know, he would probably say, oh, if you intervene, you're not letting son handle his business like a man. She's like, I don't need him to tell him. I don't need to tell him. He knows what he can say. And Lord knows I would fucking do it, and he wouldn't like it. I was like, don't ask me to do something you don't like.
Oh, man. If you're both cutting WWE style promos, I'm just gonna say this: who made your mom fall in love with him? Vince Russo?
With who?
With your stepfather, Vince
No,
Russo?
my dad. No. My mom was into the heritage of the Rock's family. She likes the Samoan guys that wrestle from his family.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, who was it? Vince Russo?
I don't remember. That's the thing. She barely remembers most of them. She just back then when I was watching it and she was with him, I was watching what's his name was on TV, Edge in his younger.
Oh. You had to know, I used to go to the ECW events.
I have pictures with Sasha Banks and Paige and all of them before they went to the WWE.
Yeah.
It's funny, I had the balls to do this, and she you know, she said that it took a lot of balls to do, because mind you, I'm 15. Oh no, not 15.
Yeah.
I'm 19. This girl was actually wrestling. I'm older than what's her name? I'm older than Paige.
Yeah.
So when I went to go see her for the first time at the show, don't get me wrong, at that time when I was in school, I was into that kind of girl. So I literally asked her, I was like, I know I'm a fan and everything, but could you fulfill the wish of going out with a WWE fan just on lunch or dinner? And all the, like, Sasha Banks, she was laughing, but laughing in the kind way. She was like, see that? She was like, she's like, that's a man right there. He just, none of the male fans would straight up ask them. They say they all big and bad, but they never asked them anything. I was like, I was the first one to ask her.
Yeah. Nice.
I was like, this is what she said though. Here, let me take you the conundrum on this one. Here's the big conundrum. She didn't say no. She said if we weren't being moved to Orlando, and she's like, well, where do you live? I was like, I only live 2 blocks because I used to live next to the original NXT arena here in Tampa.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
I went to go see, you know, when I went to watch the show for the last night and talk all of them. I also met the members of DX, like Billy Gunn, like my ass guy.
Mr. Ass, Mr. Ass. Billy, the badass Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws, That's where I get that, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I
boys,
know where you
girls,
get that. Oh,
children.
trust me, I do. I know it's because he did it there. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and then she didn't say no. Like she didn't say no, and she just said if we were, she's dedicated to her schedule, and she was like, she emphasized, she was like, don't feel I'm telling you no, but I just think that I feel like I'm focusing. I was like, well. That's you. And she said that was the best response I could have gave her. And Bailey, a younger Bailey, she was there. She was like, if we weren't on schedule, I would have said yes to him. I was like, oh, thank you.
Oh, damn.
And they were like,
Right.
I was like, oh shit. And then 2 weeks after, not 2 weeks after, a year or two after that, when I was working at another job, the tag team of Fandango and Tyler Breeze came to do their laundry, and I was like, oh shit.
Nice.
And they were very cool. They were cool because they're like, you're a WWE fan? I was like, I know who you. I was like, I can tell. I know who your name is. You guys are Breezango. He started laughing. He was like, we're just one of the, because they say that they know that they're the underrated, like the first match, like those side matches stars. I was like,
Yeah.
ain't nothing wrong with that. And they were like, oh, we appreciate it. I was like, and once I told my boss who they're working for, I was like, oh great, she should be happy. She has her first 2 celebrities doing laundry here.
Yeah. My half sister, she used to work at a hair salon. She was the one who used to do Stevie Richards' hair from ECW. And another wrestler I met personally was Gangrel.
Hmm.
I always loved Gangrel. The whole vampire thing.
Didn't Edge and them do that?
Yeah, they were the Brood at one point.
Okay,
It was
the
Edge,
Brood.
Christian, Gangrel.
That's what I'm trying to remember. Yep.
Yeah.
The only thing that's reminding me of that old era is Alexa Bliss's character. That's it.
Yeah. But I'll say this, they really done the Fiend dirty.
And he's cool. Like, in reality, he's cool.
Yeah, I like the whole Bray Wyatt thing of the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde persona.
Well, no, here's the thing. The fans were expecting, they were like, well, a new generation needs a Reaper. He should lose to Undertaker. Therefore, it passes. You gave you basically gave it off from one entity to another. But they didn't fucking do that. And they missed that opportunity with Sting. If anybody who deserved to break the streak was Sting.
Yeah.
If fucking Brock Lesnar.
I fucking hated that the most. Because I view Brock Lesnar wasn't worthy to break the streak. Do you know who originally was supposed to be? Randy Orton, actually. It was supposed to be Randy Orton or Mark Henry. But Randy Orton, in his Legend Killer persona, said he would not do that.
Because I'm sure it would have backfired on him in the long run, too.
He would have been hated. Look at Brock Lesnar. He is still hated for breaking Undertaker's streak.
The thing is, we know Brock Lesnar really doesn't give 2 fucks as long as it gives him a job. But the people that said no had standards, and everybody universally said Sting.
Yeah.
Even Sting says, look, I would do it. He says in private times he would speak with Undertaker, like they know each other outside. He would talk to him and be like, if anybody he was like, it'll be a great match. And he said he'd be willing, he's the one who'd be willing to have that final streak fight with. But like now, every time Undertaker fights, they still show the number counter, but they just show now the loss numbers going up. And then I'm like, what's the point? Don't show it anymore. It's useless now.
I'm kind of glad that he defeated AJ Styles. But one of my favorite Undertaker matches was the first one with Shawn Michaels. I will always say that. because I love the intros the most.
Mm-hmm.
Because it both showed how they were. Like Shawn Michaels' beginning was he was coming down as a born again Christian, but after he landed, he went back to the classic HBK look. And Undertaker going with the Druids and rising out from the stage was awesome too. I still love it when Scarlett makes their heart explode.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see that. Now, if they had, I would love to see that type of fatality performed on back on two Mortal Kombat X characters in particular, the Predator and the Xenomorph, or Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I got the lady in red mask. The sigils of power. Oh. Oh, crud.
He gives me these fucking Ronin clothes, knowing I'm just gonna take it off and put on my ghost clothes again.
Yeah.
There's a director's cut coming out for this game. I think people who already own it are gonna get a free update, and it will be released also as like stand disc.
You wanna hear something? John, I actually like this Nightwolf outfit of him in the ninja gear.
Oh wait, he does have one in the ninja gear.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. So the one thing I like about this game is that it doesn't have a waypoint. You have to move the touchscreen and the wind tells you where to go.
Mm-hmm. Back in the day, the other thing I liked about the whole thing with the time concept, was the one scene where Sonya shot past Kano.
In the head. Past Sonya shot him. She shot past Kano. No, she shot future Kano because she knows it would kill. No. Wait, how did it work? Because of the flux. She shot past Kano or modern Kano?
It was past Kano.
Right. Okay, that's right. She shoots past Kano. It's gonna cause him. He's gonna die. And that's what happened to what's his name? To Well, you first see the scene kind of with Johnny Cage. He doesn't die, but once he gets past self, got shot across the face, like the
Yeah.
grays. Present Johnny got the grays.
Yeah. And I like that whole idea of the whole past and future interacting. And the one that had the biggest stake was Cassie Cage, because if either one of them would die, she would cease to exist.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I actually liked in that aspect.
See, here's the thing. You know what's funny? A lot of people seem to have a problem with this, but I feel that the original games really, even though you could say Liu Kang, yes, was the main character, it followed many main characters after him, or at least a couple, and then this rebooted trilogy shifted the focus to Shao Kahn was defeated almost very similar fashion, except it prevented all the other games from happening at the end of 9. We don't see Deception, Armageddon, Deadly Alliance, all that didn't happen. So, if you take that, but then when you get to MK4, which is Mortal Kombat X, this time they changed the role. But think about it: if Liu Kang is dead, or a revenant, so to speak, who's gonna be the one to defeat Shinnok? Who could be else in, besides you don't want an offshoot character doing it, you don't want a new character doing it. What do? You take one of the original 3 fighters.
Yeah.
Or the trio, and you took out of all people, because if Sonya would have did it, they would have cried Social Justice Warriors, Feminine Pride. If Cage did it, he would have been called a white male misogynist defeating an Asian character who's technically the villain.
Yeah.
Cassie does it, who she's a combination of the two. It's like there's no middle ground, because Cage first did it, and it shows in the game that he could have did it again, but he was in a predicament that he couldn't do it twice.
Yeah.
And I always wondered what was the mystery behind those green powers, because they were just never explained.
Yeah, and I like that. How it gave some credence to that. My favorite thing about the Mortal Kombat, believe it or not, one of my favorite things about the Mortal Kombat X storyline is you see Raiden's remorse for killing Liu Kang.
I mean, he had the remorse before, but on a different...
And it made Raiden have more of a character arc.
Yeah. Why did I follow these guys? I'm supposed to go turn off the fucking alarm, not follow them.
But I will always say that Kodo Khan is a jobber.
Oh yeah, but they a lot of people like that they added humanity to him, because instead of turning Jade into what they expected, a lesbian, she is fucking the jobber.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what, Kotal Khan? My hat's off to you. You fucked the most third wanted fuckable woman in Mortal Kombat.
But I will say this about Kodo Khan. He's not like Shao Kahn. He has a form of honor.
And he wants peace for the realm. He doesn't do all that crazy shit kind of, like, none of the gladiatorial stuff. Well, no, they do gladiatorial stuff, but it's against enemies. It's not against the innocent.
Yeah. Hell, I like the fact when the whole storyline, when Kodo Khan brought peace out world, he told, like, Katana, you're the one who has to rule, because you're the one who helped did this.
She is basically the rightful ruler of a realm, because she doesn't have her realm to rule. See, this is what confuses me. Adenia still remains just, it doesn't exist anymore in the current universe, but in the original, Kitana was able to go back and fix it. So I don't know why they didn't do that for her now.
And I like the fact how Kronika brought Shao Kahn back. We thought Shao Kahn was dead once and for all. But I like how Shao Kahn got this do-over.
But he died. Oh no, he didn't die, did he? Oh, he died.
No. Aftermath, he was brought back.
Well, no. He's brought back in this one. No. In Aftermath, I get what you mean. No. In Aftermath, the death that happens to him in the main content of the main 11 story doesn't happen, but he does get killed by Shang Tsung. Because, Shang Tsung's been waiting to do that for a fucking while.
Yeah, but Sindel is still around.
No, she's gone too. Shang Tsung kills her too.
Oh.
Oh no, because this thing, if that's one thing I say about Shang Tsung, he knows to eliminate who will cause him a problem, but then inadvertently he could be helping the allies because, yeah, Shang Tsung, you're powerful and all, but I doubt you're going to be able to take on the whole of the MK universe on your own.
Yeah.
Especially without help. You couldn't do shit. Huh?
And Shang Tsung is... I like the character Shang Tsung. He's a great character for his cunning manipulation.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like Jafar from Aladdin in a way.
Mm-hmm. His ends justify the means.
Mm-hmm. And I love the fact that the one scene I loved the most was when how Raiden healed the Revenant Liu Kang. And made Liu Kang basically the new fire god. But I have to ask you something about Fujin. Is he a god who gave up his godhood to be immortal?
Who, Raiden?
No, Fujin.
Fujin? No, Fujin's an elder god.
Yeah, but he said he lives among the mortals.
He can do, no, he does what Raiden does. He can,
Yeah.
Raiden lives among the mortals.
Yeah, and he says he has a family.
That's his
what I
choice. That's the
like
thing. That's a choice he can do. Yeah, he can do that. But Raiden does it because Raiden is just so devoted to his
duties.
ways. Yeah.
And I liked how Fujin said that. He he would love I love that part. There are great points in that. I hate the fact that people pan this game where there are great points in it.
They panned the game for being social justice warrior stuff, but what in that game do you see anything SJW besides the Khan joke?
And Wakanda's ending for Jax.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I will be honest, that was the biggest character assassination for Jax.
Wait, which part? Because Jack survives and Jack teams up with his original form, and then after that, everybody's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember the Wakanda part for Jax, unless that's a part unless you're using it as a code name for a part that I forgot.
The end, Jax's ending.
Are you talking about from the ladder or the story? Like
if you play as Jax on the tower.
Oh no, yeah, no. Those endings are really never canonical unless they don't do it. You know, because the Raiden thing, the Raiden Liu Kang being a thunder god was mentioned in 9 in his ending, and that's the one ending that was followed up on. They said that was like the first ending that was followed up on was Liu Kang becoming a god of fire and thunder.
Mm-hmm. And I loved my favorite part about the whole thing.
Wait, but isn't Raiden gonna live again in this time? Like, now that the time's reset, Raiden can live again, but Raiden might be... I think it would be funny if Raiden was now in Liu Kang's shoes. And Liu Kang was the one who has to guide him. Like, kind of like the Great Kung Lao, because I wonder, will Liu Kang be fucking with the time in a serious manner if Great Kung Lao wins against Goro?
That would be interesting.
Because, yeah, they're not supposed to be able to... Because I don't know what are the rest of the rules at the time, like what you can manipulate and what you can't manipulate.
Yeah. Because
I doubt they're done with a timeline story, like fucking with time. I think the next game would just be a direct. You would have to pick up in that new. Technically, Liu Kang has created the new era, but we don't know if it's for the better or for the worse. Instead of Shao Kahn or any of that, I'd rather if Shang Tsung returns, he'd be serving Onaga. Onaga has to be use the characters that were not shown to have returned from the 3D era and give them another chance.
Yeah, I think Onaga would be good. Havoc is great. He was in the comic.
Havoc, but that's the thing. I wish Havoc's storyline was in the fucking X storyline, because his MKX storyline was really good.
Yeah, and he cannot die, basically. He's immortal.
And if it wasn't for his fucking like, he made the mistake and it inadvertently restored everyone's bodies. They were just under mind control, and all they had to do was break the. Takeda broke the mind control, and everybody got their bodies back, except for a few of the heroes. You know,
Yeah.
Jax still had to be freed. A couple of the characters still had to be freed.
Yeah. It's funny, even when Scorpion died and went back to the Netherrealm, he wasn't a Revenant. Right now I'm playing as Bihan. And I love the voice. It sounds like Dr. Claw. I'll get you, Liu Kang, next... No. I'll get you, Scorpion, next time. Next time. And the thing I like in this game are the movie references from the Mortal Kombat movies.
Because that's also, think about it, if you're fucking with time, they acknowledge that even the game, like, I guess all the timelines, Chronica makes it clear that all the timelines have happened at some point or another, so she could be responsible for also the universe of the films.
Yeah. And that's what I liked about the young Shang Tsung so much. It was they got the original voice actor back.
Not just the original voice actor, they got his appearance, like his likeness. He did his likeness and everything.
Yeah. As much as NetherRealm gets hate for doing this to the Mortal Kombat series,
but what did they do? What did they do in specific? Because a lot of things people say they hate. I'm like,
hold on, I have a phone call.
All right. So why can't the fuck? I was wondering why he wasn't climbing back up. Envy, what's up? I let the bear loose to eat them.
Hello.
Yep.
Yeah. What were we saying again?
I was saying, like, what is it specifically that they hate that the fans have been complaining about? Because it seems like you know what I feel like when people complain about, they pull up that one argument saying, oh, it's not my Mortal Kombat. So what is your Mortal Kombat? The headcanon that you've created, that you get disappointed when it doesn't show the things you want it to happen, that doesn't make sense? Because fans want all their shit to be involved, but sometimes their shit stretches the logic so far that people would still it would cause greater holes than I don't know what these people want.
Yeah. I'll be honest.
Because also, don't they say everything doesn't translate well? Like, you can't put everything because it doesn't translate.
I'll be honest. This is the same argument how that was back when when the original Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 came out. It was in a 2D premise. The minute it went to 3D, people complained about it.
Even though the story and the games were actually good.
And when the 2D came back, people complained about it.
That's why I'm like, you shouldn't really like. Here's the thing, and then it's like, how many how a minority that get mad, but it's like that minority already won't, like, let's say you got 100% people. Only 20% bitch and won't buy it, then I'll take the 80%. I'm still profiting.
Yeah. And they had to make it for a more modern era.
I mean, the events of the original timeline are still happening. It's just certain events didn't happen. Like Mortal Kombat 4 still happened in MKX. It's just that now Shinnok had help, and there was more of a it was more of a war than it was a slaughter. Because let's be real,
Yeah.
four and Deadly Alliance were games where the heroes got slaughtered. So do they want to see that again?
Yeah.
Do people want their characters to die so they can bitch?
Yeah, and that's the other thing. In Deadly Alliance, everybody was upset they killed off Liu Kang.
And they try to say people. I remember people later in day, like people loved Shujinko now because they get it. But I'm like, really? I liked him from the get-go because he was different, and his superpower was completely different. He had what was known as replication without being a sorcerer.
Yeah.
He could replicate and do your moves as if you were the real person.
Yeah, that's what I liked about Shujinko.
And now that he did have his own powers, it's just that if he needed to, a style to fit the situation, he could transform.
Yeah. Like I said, people are never satisfied in these games with some of these games, and that's the sad part because I like the fact how they evolved Frost's character a lot.
Yeah, she's not just a fucking shallow assassin like she was in the original continuity.
No, she's.
But you see what I mean? How the bitching is inconsistent? The bitching.
Yeah. I actually like how they fleshed out Noob Saibot.
Well, Noob's background was always fleshed out. It's just now he's more, I think, even more dangerous than what he was.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really fucking dangerous compared to what he used to be.
I'm gonna be honest. I actually cried at the scene where future Scorpion dies, and he tells past Scorpion like
everything.
The Shirairu. No, that's part. The Shirairu is.
That was a Loki. That was a Loki situation where, remember, they have in the show Avengers 1 dickhead Loki. So you have Mortal Kombat 1 or 2's. Because by 3 he kind of straightened himself out. Because 3 he never went after Kuai Liang. This is Mortal Kombat 1 or 2's Scorpion, and you saw how fast reality slapped him, and he was like, because at that time Quan Chi's still not alive, so it's not like he can rush over to kill the bitch when he finds out. But the one thing he can do is kill the enemy and all this shit. Yeah. That Scorpion, when that Scorpion went to the battlefield, and everyone else went to the battlefield. That lady couldn't, because the lady said the only thing I did not like about Chronica is, bitch, you couldn't foresee every fucking thing because you were shocked every time Raiden was making a move. But the fighting. Oh yeah.
But I do love that part where he said, like, the Shirairu, it's its heart, not its blood. That actually made me tear up.
Like I had a debate a few months ago with the release of the film with the YouTuber called Infinite Retro, because he prefers the original film over this one. But we had a good talk. He understands where I was coming from when it comes to this movie. I was like, I don't think you're gonna get away. You can't get away with a PG-13 twice. At this point, you have to go all in or nothing. And I was like, I don't mind. Here's the thing: if you also went to the tournament film, people would have more questions than answered, and they would bitch and complain harder. Because people could say what they want. Even the director himself said that this movie was for the fans. It's not for everybody. And it's funny how the movie was still a success, still praised, but you have the grifters who hate it, which are like, oh, if it's not my vision the way I want.
It's a Gundam.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I like the fact they did a prequel movie because you could see we could have seen characters that were.
You also seen the combatants, and they said one thing. You're gonna laugh at this. They said that, oh, shouldn't they say you're not supposed to kill during the tournament? The tournament didn't happen. You're not supposed to kill before the tournament. The tournament didn't happen. The rules are not set in stone yet. Once it starts, then it's all confined to the tournament. but you can kill outside the tournament. I've played all the games, even the 3D Arrow story modes. There is nothing in the rules that say that. Because in the games, alright, what about all the games then? Where's the tournament? After Mortal Kombat 2? Where's the tournament? Everybody's getting killed left and right. And even beforehand, this is Shang Tsung. He's going to do something like that. People are trying to say, this is not within the character of Shang. I was like, I'm gonna smack you. I'm gonna smack you. That is what he does.
Shang Tsung tries to find loopholes.
And they're like, oh, he didn't fight in this film. I'd rather him built up. And they were like, oh, the death of Goro. I was like, Goro died from a punch in the nuts and getting knocked over in the 95 film. At least he got a fatality. I'll give him that.
Yeah. And I'll be honest about the whole thing with...
And real quick, how many other giants... How many other giants do we have besides Goro? You could put Mitaro. Kintaro. You could put you could put any, because they're brothers actually. So you can have him be in the tournament and say, oh, he wants to avenge his brother's death, so he could end up fighting Cole, but still lose, but beat the shit out of him nonetheless.
Yeah. But I gotta be honest, everybody gets pissed off about Cole Young. Okay, alright, I'll be honest. Let's put it this way. I actually like their adding characters that are new. Hell, I would love if they add Hydro in the series.
I know, because he keeps getting excluded from the games.
Or the Malibu comic book characters.
Well, the thing is, here was the kicker. Even you should know this. The Malibu comics were their own telling of Mortal Kombat. They were non-canon. So when people were bitching about the film, they were trying to use the comic books as reference. I was like, you're using non-canon material.
Well, Hydro is a popular character, and they do have a consumable with Hydro in it.
No, they do, but it's more so as a what's it called? Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? It's more of a like a reference. Like they did that in the Mortal Kombat movie. They used a in-game reference, like when what's his name? When Cole pulls out the Scorpion Dagger or the Scorpion Spear, what does the item look like when you summon Scorpion in MK11? It's his fucking dagger, so it's like they implemented a mechanic. And once Cole pulled it out, like the video game, Scorpion popped out of nowhere. And they were like, oh, the theme should be used. I was like, oh, so you want the theme to be overused and redundant.
And heck, they might evolve Cole's character into being a young Shujinko or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like his powers might be that he's like the character of what those two gods from Armageddon?
I forgot the father. I know I forgot the father's name, but he could. I know Dahlia was the mother.
Taven and Dagon.
Yeah, you can do them. You can do their story easily. You could just have it to where this Cole, like, there's the thing. They're saying, oh, you need to change his name to make it more believable, and having him tied to Scorpion's bloodline is stupid. I'm like, what is the key part about Scorpion's personality? Honor, family, and blood.
Yeah.
Because like it's a Gundam's video. I never got a response, and he deleted my comment, leaving. I was like, here's an easy debunk for you, so you see, so your points are easily, like, he's the type, and all those types that don't want to watch the video because they're, what's that term, like, no matter what, you're set in stone even if you're wrong. I know there's a term for that.
They're set in their ways.
Well, there's that. Well, that's when used for old people. Is that they set in his ways? It's just like, there's another word for it. It's like, no matter what anyone tells you, like, even if the proof is right there,
they're oblivious.
Oblivious or willfully ignorant. Because I'm sure because you watched that video that I did on him.
Not yet. I still
no, you
see
didn't?
it.
I gotta send that to you because you would be like, yep. And I even bring up everything that I'm talking to you with right now. I brought up there.
Yeah. And yet, no, I'm one of the biggest Mortal Kombat fans. I actually love the new series.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God! And she just ripped out. She would just rip Motaro's head. And look, I'm gonna be honest. The design of Shiva, like, I'll be honest about some of the designs. Yes, some of the designs do look like they're feminine.
Yeah.
But I will be honest. Their designs may look that way, but their character and story arc is different.
Mm-hmm.
AKA Shiva. I think Shiva is a great character. She has this whole thing about honor.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like her honor makes her do things to a fault, like what it was shown in the movie, or not in the movie, but the games.
And her whole thing of being a queen. I actually like Cassie's story in 11. The effect of losing her mother.
There you go, Conundrum. I sent you, and that one dude that you know that one dude that was talking over, like, I just got a message from G-Bane on Discord. He's going after G-Bane on G-Bane's channel. Like, why does this guy have a problem? It's like, this had nothing to do with him. So he's trying to bring all these other people. He's pulling a retro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love the animations of this game, Drew. It's faithful to what they were trying to present. Oh, I sent you the video, by the way, Conundrum.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna watch it in a while, because God, I have. Do you get a trophy for if you get 1,000,000 coins?
I think so. There's like a money related trophy for just collecting money and all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope they like. I like how Khan basically, when he came back into time from the time distortion, how he felt about Melina being killed.
Mm-hmm.
He viewed Melina as a daughter, even though she was a creation. That showed some character for Shao Kahn.
Yeah. He really didn't put Melina, like, he never threatened her or nothing like that. She did everything willingly, and that's exactly the kind of thing he wanted in his child. And he showed the level of care for his child because you were serving him.
And he even viewed Melina. I like that, actually. He viewed Melina as a daughter, even though she was not. She was not his daughter, or she was just a clone.
Like, you know what's funny? In the newer movie, they tried to justify. They tried to say, you know what's funny? I came up with a perfect justification and understanding on how her skin can be darker, because they showed a picture of the chick who's gonna be Katana in these movies, and she's gorgeous and she's light skinned, but the chick, this darker chick who plays Melina, looks like her but with darker skin. And I have a simple answer for that. There's dark skinned Tarkatans.
Yeah, and who would have said that? Who would have said that Shao Kahn put his own DNA in it?
Mm-hmm.
And look, she may be the first prototype clone, so it probably is a failed clone.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, there was prototypes of Melina in the tubes.
Yep, and that's why this one could have fought. Like, all Shang Tsung has to do is just magically move her conscious into the next body so she could be aware.
Yeah. And this is why I hate people who don't understand storytelling and writing. They'll take it with the basic Fox News or CNN approach.
Like that's what I hate is like when they come like their quickest defense is this is not my this is not my that. Yeah, because it doesn't follow the headcanon you created, so you got yourself disappointed. Like with Star Wars, everybody comes up with their own fan concepts, but when you don't follow up on that because it's not canon, some of the stuff's not canon, they want to get mad and say not my Star Wars. I said yes, because this is not the canon you created. Somebody tried to argue with me on the sequels, and when I was pulling up this stuff, they're like, "You're lying. This is not this. This never stated. This never said." I was like, "This the books did."
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know Disney is changing the name of Boba Fett's iconic ship.
They will until Favreau and Filoni say otherwise, and then they'll just shut up and let them do what they want like they normally do. So I was like this. I'm like, it's just a ship. That really, as long as they don't change Boba Fett's character, I could care less about the name of a ship.
Yeah.
The ships are gonna get blown up one day probably anyways, so why care about the ship? Like, I'm the only one that doesn't give a fuck if the Millennium Falcon got blown up, because at least I know it goes down in a blaze of glory. That's it. But it's like, I'm attached to the character, not the ship.
Originally in Return of the Jedi, it was supposed to be destroyed.
It's like, but then I said that once someone says, oh, you don't care about Han Solo. I was like, I care about Han Solo, I don't care about the ship. And they're like, the ship is Han Solo. I said, no, the fuck it's not. I was like,
no, the ship is basically the feminist computer.
See, as funny as I didn't watch Solo in the theater because of all what people said about it, then I watched it and realized that most of the stuff they said about it was only 20% true and the rest was 80% lies.
Oh yeah, people will do that.
And that's basically the fandom minutes.
Oh yeah, and beat my cock.
Freaking Doomcock's like, how is he now still making more Star Wars content if you're deemed a false sign of information now?
Because the sheeple will always obey.
The worst one's Ryan Kinnell, RK Outpost.
Yes. Ooh, I got 5 Philosopher's Stones.
I put on Twitter, I have the audio of Jeremy from King's Game saying, I love Last Jedi. And here's the thing, you know what's funny? The one thing I say about the films, people say, oh yeah, that there was no planning, but here's the problem. You actually have to do the opposite. You have to look at the novelizations, and they answer your questions. Yeah. And not only that, these movies were being based on the EU storylines that people wanted. Heir to the Empire and the Dark Empire. So whoever says Palpatine never cloned himself, I was like, you don't know the EU then.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, well, his clone needs to be stable. I said, in Legends, they even stated clones are unstable. They will deteriorate faster with the use of the dark side.
Even Palpatine in the Dark Empire 3 needed a Anakin Solo.
He was trying to find the perfect vessel for his conscience to go to. Because this thing, you can't do it with a clone body. You need to do the essence transfer with a body.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows the lore that knows this, it was funny. It's like one time, It's a Gundam called me out saying, "You don't know Star Wars lore," and I'm like, "You want to try that again?" Never got back to me since.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube grifter called, you ever heard of the PlayStation Inquisition or the Rogue Inquisitor?
Oh yeah.
He sided with True Scottish Guy in the situation against Libra when he was always hanging with us. And he told True Scottish Guy all of because Libra was friends with him. Libra confided information to him, and he went ahead and he told True Scottish Guy everything.
Oh.
And then he's got the nerve to say, oh, John's going around calling me a snake. I'm calling you what you are. And he says, oh, John's arrogant, John's too proud. I said, I'm not arrogant and I'm not proud. It's just I can back up my fandom with the information that you choose to ignore. Even though you don't like it, you have to use canon information to support yourself.
I'm gonna be honest, you're like, most of the people are like Naruto, but you're like Black Star from Soul Eater. You can back up the shit you say. And do.
but then they say I don't. Well, here's the thing: if there's one thing, there's another. If you see this guy, True Scottish guy, like same thing. He's like Retro, except with a brain. He plays the situations and he controls the narrative, and he will only talk to you or debate you on his terms and conditions. So basically, even if you were having points or talking about it, this is basically how he treats me. If I make a point, he says you're on my show, your points don't matter. It's what I say.
Then that's a fallacy.
Yeah, but people believe him.
If you're on your own show and you control the narrative, you're basically like a Tonka saw.
Thank you.
Oh my god, I love new Cybot's friendship.
With the jump rope.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, what are these like?" This is how I show you the new generation of gamers did not play Mortal Kombat. There were people who said, "Oh, we hate the friendships." I was like, "You never played original Mortal Kombat 3 then?"
Actually, I think friendship was around in Mortal Kombat 2, actually.
2, but it became full-fledged by 3. Oh, hey VGL. Actually, VGL's here. He wasn't part of what's going on. I promised him a brief explanation of what happened when he wasn't active. And since you're here, Conundrum, you'll be able to explain what I'm missing. What's happened recently about the retro thing for the past 2 days, especially yesterday on my birthday, when things were quiet. But then they got all loud and rowdy.
Basically, Too Black, Too Strong started conceding to some of his points. You get what I'm saying, right, John?
Yeah, it's like Too Black is reasonable if you talk to him one-on-one. But I get it. You know what I get? I understand he has to be a certain way for the audience. And don't get me wrong, his commentaries are hilarious, especially when he's looked over. But give some context to it. Like the thing is, like with Retro, I don't call Retro an orangutan for no reason. I was like, if you stop acting like an orangutan, I don't call you an orangutan.
Yeah. I talked to Retro last night, and I told him, like, look, yeah, I'll critique you, but I'll keep it clean with you.
Yeah.
All I want is the same. If you... Who is this SGR guy?
That's who I'm wondering. That's the one that was trying to talk over what's his name last night. And I told you he's trying to talk to G-Man, but I was like this, no. We're not associating anyone outside unless it's with the person we're directly speaking with.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't like that we didn't address him or talk to him in a certain manner. I was like, if you don't warrant me to talk to you in that manner, then don't give me a reason to talk to you that way. What in the...
Wait a minute. Have we ever heard about the anime guy, the guy with the jerk-off socks?
Wait, who?
You know, he was a friend of, what's his name? Sega Lover?
Oh, Sega Lover's cool now. No. Sega Lover used to make those jokes with the sock. See, here's the thing. This how I can show you that.
No,
See, Anime Lover? No, he is Sega Lover. Anime Lover was Sega Lover. He just changed his name. He did what we all did. Like me, one time I used to just be John Kill 3D Gaming. I used to get constantly attacked. When I predicted the success of Battlefront 2 in the year-long run, that's when this guy Beatmaster especially deemed me the Emperor, because he says everybody else when it comes to Star Wars is using fallacies and you use the truth. And he says your over the top nature is why you're also. It's like what I do is it's like Star Wars. I mix Star Wars and Warhammer. Like if I was to have some sort of Imperium, it'd be a combination of the two. And he says you're over the top like an Imperial Blood Marine, but you're knowledgeable if it came to being to discuss.
Me with Star Wars, I more think of myself as the Mandalorian. I'll be the person who would say, yes, the old stuff is good, but the new stuff is good. But I will be honest, the fandom is toxic.
No, I'm the first one to admit that. Hold on, VGL said, I'm a subscriber of his. He wanted me to talk to. Well, I don't know. Oh, well, go ahead, VGL. Explain what he wanted to talk about, because I don't know. I have nothing really to say to him. He's not part of my conversations or what I have going on, so I don't know what he wants to speak with me about. It's just that if he has an issue with anyone else, go to that person directly. Don't bring everyone else into it. If that's one thing, VGO, you could say, I'm sure you respect the most, is we don't bring everyone into it. We bring the people who are targeted, so they can have a voice in it. Just like you, let's say if you and Retro were having beef right now and you two were on my channel, I would let you speak your part, because this would involve you, for example. We just want to get to the bottom of who's posing as you, who's posing as me, and who's posing as all these other people to cause discord. That's what I want to get to the root of.
Yeah.
Because VGL's been we were brought into the situation because of Retro, and because we didn't feel like this. Honestly, all these issues with Retro began when not only we kicked him out of the group for his treachery, because we found out that he was causing all these issues. We felt bad for what was done to VGL, so we wanted to give VGL more of a voice here, and I believe VGL has subscribed to me, Keo, and Libra. And at least that's a good thing, because that means if anything happens, we can keep him up to speed and up to task. Because I know he doesn't want to be involved with every single situation, but I feel the respect.
I think VGL didn't subscribe to me, but I'm not sure. But if he is, I would love that.
Yeah.
So VGL, subscribe to the Conundrum. Well. And guys, I'm going to take the criticism good, actually. You gave me, I should do some more mainstream games. That's why I'm going to be starting to do Mortal Kombat plays.
Actually, Conundrum, if you watch that video that I made on It's a Gundam, just like yesterday, where just like how I understand, like my video about the Retro thing will get criticized for good reason, but if you watch that one, that was the one video that no one gave me they all gave it positive when it came to structure, when it came to how I put things together. That's the one video where I think if you look at that one, you could give a very fair, big assessment.
Yeah. And I gave it a lot of good, valid criticism for all of you. And the thing is, what I do with my criticism, I'll give you constructive criticism, but I'll be funny about it.
Yeah.
Like how I said about Libra October. Take some fucking nasal spray, shove it up your nose, and pump.
Yeah, I mess with Keo all the time. I was like this. We need Korean Rage.
And Keo, I would tell him this. Go to the store, buy a toothbrush at the dollar store, buy some Colgate, and brush those fucking teeth!
Now, if you really want to, here's the thing. If you really want to laugh and see, because I know what you meant, and trust me, I'm capable of doing the humor part. Look at my videos that I made against True Scottish Guy and Into Gundam, and you'll see, what you wanted, that part where you, I should throw comedy with the criticism. Those ones have it.
I will tell you this, John, you cured my insomnia with that video.
Which one?
the whole retro thing.
Yeah.
God, I suffer really bad insomnia, but it's like.
I did you some justice then.
Thank
That's
you.
the way I see it. See, here's the thing. I don't even take I take a criticism also as a positive aspect. I don't take it as get the fuck off my case, But there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. It's like, you can do it, I'll understand it. It's Two Black does it, I'll understand it. If you go to my old enemy True Scottish Guy, it's just to be a dick for the sake of being a dick. It's like, oh, I'm right, you're wrong, end of story type thing. Even if you present, I'm right. But here's the thing, you can't even mention his name because he has birdies everywhere. The moment his name's even mentioned, if it's for an example, he'll say, you're talking shit about me, blah, 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 and calls a whole other set of shit.
Well,
the Cubs blew the game. I'm not big on sports. I don't know about Conundrum. I know the Cubs are a sport team. I'm just not big on sports.
I'm more of a Pirates fan.
Mm.
Even though I'm not in the area where the Pirates are from, actually.
He is a vengeful spirit. Back from the
Yeah.
grave, slaughtering the Mongols.
Fuck the Bucks.
Oh, the Buccaneers. Yeah. I don't care about the.
Not the Buccaneers. I'm talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Oh, I'm about to say. I'm like, because I don't care about my team either.
Yeah. But I'm not a big baseball or I'm a big baseball fan. I don't watch games. I'll actually play baseball. That's how I unwind from stress.
Yeah.
But my favorite sport is hockey. I'm a huge hockey fan.
Now I'm just I'm streaming until whenever my friend Rhea whenever she wants to come by, because I already know I'm gonna be a happy man today. I don't know at one time, but I will be.
I'm not. Oh, I know what's going to be happening.
She said it was. She said it's a late birthday gift. I was like, hey, I'll take it. Hey,
it's worth the wait.
Yeah, no, she only lives 2 blocks away from here, but she works. She was waiting for a day off.
Oh. She must be saving money for a special outfit for you.
No, she wears like the way she wears, she looks good in the sun. Like, she's the kind of girl, she has like the short black hair, but I don't have a problem with that. The quartering is quivering as always. Well, no shit. Hold on, wait. I had a question. I never asked this. VGL, you have a PlayStation, right? Because I saw that in one of your videos you got Ghost of Tsushima. Shit, I can give you if anytime I can get you in here if you have one.
Hold up, I'm gonna say something to VGL. Thank you for in your video saying about the Mortal Kombat joke. I actually bought Mortal Kombat 11, and to your surprise, I actually love the game.
Damn. That's the thing is, it's like when you play something that people say is bad, it's not actually bad.
9 times out of 10, the thing that they're saying is bad is actually good, except for Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk, by my understanding, Kyo is the only person who doesn't have problems with it. Like, it hasn't given him... It only gives him maybe... Let's just say this. In the time he's played it, he's only gotten 10% bugs.
Well, it's easy when you cut your hand and put it on write your name in blood and pray to a dark lord that Cyberpunk would work.
Hold on, he says I need to go help my dad. Yeah, take your time, VGL.
Okay, and spend time with your dad, Bond, man. That's important. I will always say that. One thing I'm going to be doing with some of my Mortal Kombat characters in this is make variations based on the older games.
Oh, I've done that. I have done that already.
Yeah.
Guess who I have? I have Christopher Lambert Raiden.
Nice!
And he has lines and everything that they say. I have the original Sonya, the original Johnny Cage, and the original Raiden from the movies.
Yeah.
And they actually are
Nice.
they're aware. They're like, Raiden will flat out say, he's like, what trickery is... And it's voice actors. They got all the voice actors to do it.
Yeah. And you probably have Liu Kang, the original movie style.
No, he's not. He's the only one that's not there. They didn't they didn't get the original Liu Kang. You just have original Raiden, original Sonya, and original Johnny Cage from the films with voice actors and their appearance from the first film.
And
It's weird seeing Raiden fight, you know.
Packet?
No, it's actually just it's a cosmetic pack.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I still bought it. I was like, I had to. It feels weird seeing White Robe Raiden finally fight.
Do they have the Mortal Kombat 2 version of Raiden, which was not Christopher Lambert?
It's already in the game. You just have to go through variations of Raiden's tower.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like the fact that in the tower you can get Bihan to look like Sauron from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I did that before. I did.
Or a ring wraith.
That shit is funny. No, the ring wraith will look more like Noob when you get him the hood, more of the unlocked hood looks.
Yeah.
See, I wish that they would bring back the duo of Scorpion and Smoke in both, like Smoke when he's in his pure ethereal smoke form with Noob.
Yeah.
You ever notice they changed Noob's skin color? Because in Deception, he had his original Bihan skin tone, but it's just he was an undead, you know, he had all the shadow powers and everything.
Yeah, I actually like how they made Noob more, like, darker. Even though his ending in Mortal Kombat, the original Mortal Kombat 9, I will say this reminded me of something from Pokemon with Team Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get the Joker actually.
I have him. His fatality, everything about him does work in that game.
And to be honest, it's a homage to Mortal Kombat versus DC. Especially with Joker's gun ending.
That fatality that he does, yup, because he doesn't even turn into a regular. Shang Tsung was the first one that did it in MK9 when he would take the clown shape and then just shoot and do the blowing the head off.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't remastered that one, MK9.
That would be good, actually.
It's like, what is stopping now? This is what I say. When a company can do the obvious thing and they don't do it, I just say they don't like money. What is stopping NetherRealm from releasing all the 3D Mortal Kombat games together in one?
Hell, do a 3D Mortal Kombat trilogy.
Well, no, if they're going with 3D, they're gonna want you to include MK4, which was the first 3D, Mortal Kombat Gold.
No, I mean, do the NetherRealm trilogy.
Oh, that, yeah.
MK. That would be great, actually.
That's what I'm saying. Once again, companies don't like money.
Hell, you can bring back the fan favorite Chameleon. I would love to see Chameleon back, because I actually like that character. If they would have done this as a trilogy, they should bring back Chameleon and pay homage to the original MK trilogy where Chameleon was in it. Another tower completed, and I got Blackest Night Noob Cybot skin. And gear up level tokens, 50,000 coins, Pocket of Resistance in the Tower of War, and I got Kamidogo Dagger of Order Realm, Liu Kang's headband, 25 hearts. 31,250.
Whatever you do,
coins.
save your soul currencies and your heart currencies as much as possible. Because once you get deeper into the crypt, you'll need them.
Okay. Terror Squad. Oh, this is a Baraka-centric tower.
That's a fucking tough one, because you have to defeat, you have to finish it by getting a brutality, but in the heart of the fucking fight. You can imagine how hard that is.
Let me see the requirements. Because I might actually play this tower as Baraka.
I don't think you're able to play it as him, because there's certain towers where they'll lock off characters. Because they know the characters will be too easily to get through.
Joker's influence must be completed. New squad must be completed. Change of way. Oh, this is just a Baraka eccentric tower. Terror Squad, it's called. And the way I'm doing this is, of course, equipping the gold nugget on him. Because I have lots of Philosopher Stones now.
Also, I expect when the Black Widow movie comes out and people... Here's the thing about Black Widow. She's not an SJW character, but since the fandom menace has already just have the hate boner for publicity, they're gonna expect to be called every sort of istophobe, sexist, bigoted, everything. It's like, if you know you're gonna get called this, why do you provoke them to make you to do that? It's like, are they that much of attention whores that they have to?
Or secretly, Disney has them in their back pocket.
But what good would negative publicity too?
Negative hot. You know, any publicity is good publicity.
Not if it costs you money, because it's like when they take it seriously. Here's the thing: don't like for example, the only reason the Solo movie bombed was because of lies.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, it bombed, and people say these movies suck. I'm like, clearly there's an audience for it if it doesn't. But like, everybody, the fucking fandom menace will say Star Wars sucks, but they'll watch every Fast and Furious movie.
Cars in space.
That's like that's like arguing why chess pieces are black and white.
Yeah.
Because that's the one argument on YouTube nobody has wanted to get into me. Like, no debate or anything like that, even though they say they do. When it comes to Star Wars, they'll refuse me or they'll walk away. I'm like, because my knowledge is going to destroy your headcanon.
My thing is, me and you would have great talks on Star Wars. You ever read they actually wrote books of Star Wars in a Shakespeare style.
That was some of the old Republic stuff.
No, the actual movies. They did it based on Shakespeare. I'll even send you the books, actually.
All right. Make Solo 2 happen. They should, because the movie is still... Here's the thing. People are trying to say, oh, that looks nothing like Han Solo, because it's 10 years before he meets Luke.
Yeah, and believe it or not, it ended on a cliffhanger.
Exactly. You could at least do it. You could at least make it so. Oh, you can at least tell the movie where he fucked up that one deal. Why Jabba put the bounty on him later.
The Kessel Run.
No, the Kessel Run was the Kessel Run was already in the movie.
No, the spice thing.
Yeah, the Spice Freighter Run.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say the Kessel Run was in the movie. It was that thing where they had to avoid the Empire. It's just that no regular ship, unnavigated, was able to do it.
Yeah, the whole thing about that, why Han Solo dumped that cargo was it was people.
The Empire was on his ass.
No, it was people. The cargo was people. They were slaves, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what he said. I don't do that trafficking. It's the same with Jack Sparrow.
Mm-hmm. And inadvertently, Han already... That's why he tries to stay away from the rebellion, because inadvertently, it almost cost him his life in the movie.
Yeah.
But he was younger, you know, he's not going to think clearly on what's right and what's wrong. He was trying to do what got him ahead, but at the end he slowly becomes Han Solo, because yes, if he's younger, you think Leia is the first woman the man would have ever fell in love with?
No, Han Solo had a wife before.
Well, no, that okay. That was actually that was a scam deal that they were both trying to get in on to receive a payment.
Oh yeah, and also if you remember this, Narshada from Dark Empire, who knew Solo very well.
Mm-hmm.
And Shug Nix, who knew Han Solo. And that's from the Dark Empire games,
Yep.
movie, comics.
How many fucking shots? Okay, you fucking Mongol, you are not that goddamn strong. It doesn't take 3 arrows to put you down.
Yeah.
This fucking guy literally took 3 arrows to the chest before he fell. I was like, that's, and you're a skinny Mongol.
Yeah.
That's not even normal.
Oh, nice. Ooh, brain food. Baraka had some brain food.
Wait, I didn't get hit. How did I lose my ghost meter? You only lose when you get hit. I didn't even get hit. And I just lost my ghost meter. Fuck you.
Everybody got, I will say this about Rogue One, everybody got upset over the credit crawl. I find that stupid.
What?
People got upset because Rogue One didn't have the crawl.
So every standalone, so every movie of Star Wars needs a crawl, even if it's a spin-off, just to tell you shit that we already know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's not a mainline someone tried to argue me with that, and I told them, I was like, so you want something so simple and iconic to be redundant for every single film. A spin-off is supposed to throw you into something you're not supposed to know.
Yeah.
And the title is in the fuck, like Rogue One, people are saying, oh, Disney films suck. Rogue One.
No, Rogue One was good, actually.
No, they try to use that now. So even when they praised it, that's to show you the fandom in its grift. Hard.
Yeah.
Because they're saying, why did there need to be a female lead? That she was an actually well-written female lead.
Yeah.
This is why I just like...
and the thing is, Hodo, I will be honest.
Haldo?
Yeah, Captain Admiral Haldo.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. You're a second command admiral, already pointed to a higher position based on events that happen. Your leader is incapacitated. You're gonna make decisions on very rashly.
Well, no, here's the kicker that I figured something out. People who complain about that, I'm sure you would agree with this because you're you have military family background and military understanding.
Yeah.
And this is what I realized. Think about it. You just had somebody who was demoted, basically tried to arrest you, used your power to do what they needed to, even though it was for the right reason.
Yeah.
Both wrongs don't make a right in that scenario, which is true. Because Poe, at the end of the day, even if people say, oh, he was badly, I was like, no, he is a rash character. He had to learn. But, so you want somebody who's in a higher military position to forfeit leadership and listen to somebody who just held you at gunpoint. And in your mind, you know, right now with everyone at ease, you don't know if there's traitors to the First Order because how will they keep getting found?
Yeah, your mind is he's committing treason.
So how do you think she's going to react?
Yeah.
But people are saying, oh, that's not how military works. I was like, this conundrum, I think you would smack them.
I would dick smack him.
Because I'm like, even I'm not in the military and not had that much knowledge, but even I know she would not give him that kind of authoritative power.
I'm gonna say something. I never believe in Rotten Tomatoes because, in my opinion, Rotten Tomatoes to me is not a reliable source.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who believes in Rotten Tomatoes Yeah, you just lost a. You lost a lot of common sense points with me.
It's only fun to watch to see how many holes are in the logic on Tomatoes. It's only fun to look into Tomatoes to see the holes in logic used.
And my thing with Black Widow, it's going to be a good. It might be a good movie. It might not.
It's just gonna be an action. It's just gonna be an action Marvel film that's ground level because of no superpowers. But everyone, you know what it is? People got spoiled with superpowers. They want to see all this outer world crazy shit, and they forget what it's like to have something that's close to the ground.
Yeah, but they're the first people to bitch about Black Widow. But as soon as Batman appears, yay, Batman!
Yeah.
And don't get me started with the Star Wars girl.
Oh yeah, she's another one. She gets Kyo pissed off.
She's a fucking mongoloid.
She's a hypocrite.
And a mongoloid.
You know what's funny? This is another thing someone tried to argue me about, because I beat them in this argument on Twitter, and they just wanted to dub me as an SJW. I was like, you know, you immediately lost when you dubbed me that, because Bane, like, I used proof that Darth Bane, because remember, Bane's apprentice is like a dark side Rey. She was in the fact that there was no other Sith or Jedi. Well, there's not that many Sith. The power of the dark side can envelop one faster, and you can use powers that even at your age you should not be able to tap into. So if Rey comes from the Palpatine lineage, what's his most powerful dark side technique? Lightning.
Force lightning.
So she was trying to force pull her way back, but something that Bane has stated, Bane states that if you have a particular affinity for one specific dark side power, even though certain Jedi can't do this and that, she through her anger was getting frustrated with Kylo Ren. It manifested to her to a powerful dark side ability based on her rage. So it shot lightning by accident. And then people are trying to say, people try to use Bane and all these other people saying, oh, it took us years, this, and this. No, if a Padawan instantly turned to the dark side and it has the motivation, lightning can appear. It won't be at a killing degree, but it will be more at a stunning degree.
Yeah.
I know my force powers and force techniques and abilities.
Yeah, and the Phantom Menace and all these people are people who only go by the movie logic, who never read the books or the lore.
And they say anything that's outside the book, like the Phantom Menace feels anything outside the movies is non-canon. I said then you're willful ignorant. Because you're acknowledging stuff that can answer your questions, but just because you don't like, because the answer is not your answer, it doesn't count.
Yeah, and my thing about Doomcock, he's a fucking Nazi.
Wait, I'd never heard that one before.
Yeah, he has another channel where he dresses up as a Nazi.
Well, ain't that interesting?
The Commandant.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I'll actually send you a link to that shit. That's why I don't trust Doomcock, because Doomcock, let me put it this way, Doomcock lied about many things.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, his inside source...
It's just Reddit.
Or he goes off of 4chan articles. And 4chan even admitted that they do it to make him look dumb. And the fact that Doomcock's wife even got into it and defended her husband. You must be that pathetic as a person
dense.
to get your wife to defend your ass.
I found this video. I don't know if you'll be able to. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. You're gonna laugh your ass off because it makes the easiest. It basically debunks. What they said. Let's see the time. Shit. Where's this video that I just recently watched?
Please
And
bring the
they tried to attack Zack Snyder when Zack Snyder I watched that interview. Zack Snyder did nothing wrong. He just has to, for his job, say, look, I'm not affiliated like in a business sense with these groups. And Geeks and Gamers took it as bitching, crying, and complaining.
Yeah, that's fucked up. I'm gonna be honest. Zack Snyder has to look out for people. And the thing is, knowing Geeks and Gamers, they're gonna attack Zack Snyder's daughter who died.
They've already done that.
And that's the sick part. You don't go after the dead. I will always make that statement. If you go after the dead, you have no credibility. Because you are able to stoop that low.
Where in the fuck was this goddamn video that I had?
Alright. I'm actually going to the forge to make something. Ah, there it is, the forge. Alright. How do you find your recipes? How do you bring up your recipes in the forge?
Shit. I think it's somewhere on the... Damn. There's an area where you get it at. I know where too. I just forgot the name.
Everyone's here. Shall we wait for the straw house?
Because I have two items I'm going to make a... you know what? I'm going to look online, actually. This is why we have the internet, everybody!
Ah, I found the video. You're gonna laugh your ass off because it starts off like... It starts off the way, what's his name? Like Obi-Wan would tell the history, you know, when he told the Luke saying for 1,000 generations, This guy opened up perfect saying, before the films, there was this group who was with us till they turned to evil. This shit is funny.
For over 1,000 years, Star Wars fans were the guardians of peace and respectful disagreement in the old fandom. For the dark times. Before the Disney buyout. A young group called the Fandom Menace, an ally of ours before they turned evil, inadvertently helped Disney hunt down and destroy the fandom. They betrayed and politicized the fandom. Now wholesome Star Wars fans are all but extinct. The Fandom Menace was seduced by the dark side of the Force. How... ironic. Yo, who the fuck is Man CMG?
Oh my god. So what do you think of that intro he did?
That's funny.
See, that's how you do stuff like that. And why's he ring? God damn it. Oh, there we go.
Episode of Internet Idiocracy, the show where we make fun of the stupidity from all corners of the internet. I'm your host, but not a Force Ghost, Matt CMG, and today, let's talk about Star Wars fans. With the Star Wars franchise being as big as it is for the past 50 years, you'd have to be actively avoiding it somehow to not know at least a little bit about it. Like, even your fucking grandma knows what a Darth Vader is. They know what an R2-D2 is, you know? Like, you know what I'm saying? Personally, I like Star Wars, but I'm not a huge die-hard fan or anything. You know, I watched the original 6 movies growing up. I watched the Clone Wars animated series as a kid. I played a fuck ton of Lego Star Wars and the Battlefront games, and I think even kids who hate Star Wars...
Chris, the video's called Internet Idiocracy, the Fandom Menace.
Still had toy lightsabers as kids. I've had my fair share of Star Wars Expanded Universe lore video binges. I tell you what, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan out there. You know, Star Wars wasn't as defining to me as Pokemon or Avatar were, but it still had a pretty big presence in my childhood. Even today, I still kind of like some of the stuff they're putting out. Like, I like The Mandalorian and some of the new stuff. I said some. Fucking bastards. I'd like to think that I'm a pretty casual Star Wars fan, but there are some people who take these fantasy space movies just a little too seriously. Enter the Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace started off as a group of prominent Star Wars fans who showed massive distaste for the direction Disney was taking the series ever since they acquired Lucasfilm in 2012. But back then, the Phantom Menace name was really only applied to a select few YouTubers and apparently some comic book writers who literally formed a group called that. They had a group called the Phantom Menace. But nowadays, the Phantom Menace is a term that is now applied in a more general way to describe toxic Star Wars fans, many of which now have very political motivations. It's one thing to dislike a movie, but it's another thing to call someone a cuck for liking it, or spreading lies and rumors about people you don't like. We're gonna get into all of it, so smash that motherfucking like button. Let's get weird, let's get wild, and pull out your lightsabers as we take on the Phantom Menace. The origins of the Phantom Menace take us back to 2017 after the release of Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. After a lukewarm response to The Force Awakens and a...
Let me pause that real quick. You know what's funny? This was an argument someone literally kicked me out of their call for because they couldn't find me back on this. Obi-Wan and Luke were Obi-Wan and Yoda, Luke viewed them as his masters, as his mentors, his teachers. What did they do when the Dark Times occurred? They went into exile. So what would Luke do if not what his masters would have done?
Yeah, went in exile. You're right.
Obi-Wan went into exile and he cut himself off from the Force. Yoda did, but then they had to reestablish that connection so they could help out. But they went into exile. What is Luke going to do if he's technically trained by them? Because it says that even in his after Return of the Jedi, he was trained by their ghosts. So, if he saw that it kept them alive in the Dark Times, what is he going to do?
The same thing.
And people said, nope, Luke would have the same personality he did in Return of the Jedi. So I'm like, oh, so he's going to have the mind of a 20-year-old in a 50, 40-year-old body. And someone said, you just don't know Luke's character. I was like, they're like, what film did you watch first? I was like, I was introduced to the prequel first. Then you don't have an opinion. I was like, yeah, but because my opinion exceeds yours.
Don't you love retardation?
Sometimes it's a headache.
Yep.
Because it's like, if I'm right, let me be right. Don't contest it in a way that makes you look dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you got to say on that, Conundrum?
People are stupid.
That's normal. Alright. Let me get this play button.
Mixed response to Rogue One, The Last Jedi created a huge divide in the Star Wars fandom. Half the fandom absolutely loved it for what they viewed as subversive storytelling and deeper themes, while the other half absolutely hated it for some of its bizarre writing decisions and poorly developed characters.
But it actually, the Phantom Menace does have a theme that you did not know behind it. And the problem is they say Rey doesn't have a struggle. She doesn't understand her place. That's a struggle. When you don't know who you are or what it is, what are you going to do?
The Legend of Korra did for Avatar, the Star Wars fanbase was split in half over The Last Jedi, with some going as far to say that it's the greatest Star Wars movie ever made, and others who think it completely...
Nah, I won't say that, but...
both of which are complete stretches. I think you guys get the picture, and if you've observed this in nature, you probably already know, but The Last Jedi divided the fan base, or at the very least, widened the schism between the two extremes that had already been growing. But let's be real, this divide did not start with The Last Jedi. It started back in 2012 when Disney bought out Lucasfilm and started doing shit people didn't like. You know, they canceled the beloved Clone Wars series. They took the Clone Wars team and put them in a more cartoony series in Rebels. They made the...
Well, the thing is, if you say anything bad about Rebels, that's actually a lie, because Rebels is a really good show, and it brings back all the Ralph McQuarrie aspects and designs from A New Hope and Phantom. You know, basically, Rebels feels like if New Hope, it has the tone of New Hope and Empire Strikes Back if it was stretched across as a television series rather than a film.
Force Awakens, which was essentially just a rehash of A New Hope, and they got rid of the old expanded universe that people really enjoyed. The seeds for people hating what Disney was doing to Star Wars.
But the stuff was never canon, so them hating it was their fault.
Broke the camel's back. Shortly after the release of The Last Jedi, a dedicated group of Star Wars fans decided that they had had enough. They hated what Disney had been doing to the series, so they decided to unify and make their voices heard. Several prominent YouTubers, including Ethan Van Sciver, Geeks and Gamers, and World Class Bullshitters, and a few others, banded together to do exactly this. And thus, the Fandom Menace was born. The Fandom Menace was simply the name of this group of YouTubers who hated the Disney era of Star Wars. And if that's all that it was, nobody would really have a problem with it. The problem was that things got a little bit out of hand, as things like this tend to do. More and more people kind of rallied behind these YouTubers, and even though the big three who originally started the group have since moved on and don't really seem to care as much as they used to, the group that they created became much more than that. The Phantom Menace was no longer just a group of YouTubers anymore. It was a whole movement, an ideology for anti-Disney Star Wars fans to rally behind, even if nobody was directly leading or organizing them. The Phantom Menace isn't even just limited to Star Wars anymore, as they now apply it to other nerdy franchises like the MCU and other kinds of shit. The Phantom Menace went from this small collective of frustrated YouTubers to this decentralized mindset that it is now. Now let me get one thing straight here. I would not be talking about this right now if all the Phantom Menace was doing was calmly or even firmly or aggressively saying what they don't like about Star Wars right now. If all they were doing was criticizing the movies or Disney's business practices, I would not have a problem here. I have zero problem with criticizing things, even if your criticisms are completely misguided. Like, you know, for example, like these hour-long, hour-and-a-half-long Last Jedi reviews, I might not agree with everything that they say in them, but I 100% respect their right to exist as long as they aren't spreading hate or spreading misinformation. The problem, though, is that the current Phantom Menace does exactly this. They just spread hate and spread misinformation. At this point, the Phantom Menace isn't even about whether the movies are good or bad anymore. The movement has become so bastardized by what I assume is the quest for internet clout that it's not even about the movies. It's about the people making them. It's about unrelated politics. And it's about really making shit up just to spread rumors and get clicks. You might not agree with what the original Phantom Menace group was aiming to do, but at the very least, they had a defined goal of making their voices heard. The Phantom Menace, as it exists now, seems like it's only out for clicks and will obtain those clicks by any means necessary, even if that means lying and politicizing every little thing.
Fucking commercial. Nobody cares about the wafers.
Oh no, I'm not brave enough for politics.
I don't know what it is about the sequel trilogy, but apparently whether you like or dislike these movies can be seen as a political stance, which is completely fucking
Now you're gonna laugh at this. People say, "Oh, the sequels were too political." You forget there's a Senate. There is courts. Star Wars already had politics. There's politics to war.
To me, well, you know, I say I don't know what it is, but I think we all know what it is. Apparently, if you like The Last Jedi, you're an SJW cuck, while if you hated it, you're a right-wing misogynist. I don't think it's crazy to say that this mindset is not even remotely accurate, but I'd be remiss to not tell you that there are definitely people who fit this description. Just by looking at the uninformed cesspool that we call film Twitter, we can see that a lot of left-leaning feminist types really related to Rey and Rose in the sequel trilogy. They really wanted Poe and Finn to be gay. They liked the trilogy's themes regarding identity and family, you know, that kind of stuff. You know, the kind of stuff that's really relevant.
What's funny is if you read the books, none of that's in the books. It's actually straightforward Star Wars stuff.
And for spreading SJW propaganda. Lo and behold, the people who say shit like this are often the same people currently representing the Phantom Menace movement. What I'm about to say to you right now should not be seen as a political take. In fact, it's probably one of the most apolitical things I've ever said in my entire life. Having women in a movie is not SJW propaganda. And if you're offended in any way by what I just said to you, then chances are you're a bigot in some capacity and are probably part of the problem. Like that's not even like remotely a partisan take, like at all. But now here's the deal, right? You are entirely free to dislike the female characters in Star Wars. You're free to dislike Rey, you're free to dislike Rose, you're free to dislike Holdo, Leia, Cara Dune, fucking Max Kanata. Doesn't really matter. You're allowed to dislike these characters, but when your reason for disliking them is that by them simply being
That
women
was funny,
and they're not pushing an
Karasada.
SJW agenda, you're fucking bigot at that point. Maybe I just haven't been looking hard enough, but I am yet to see how any of these characters simply existing is any form of SJW propaganda. Like, we could totally get into the specifics about how some of these characters were very badly written, but that is entirely separate from them existing to push some fucking SJW uprising or some shit. Like, what the fuck? The reason the Phantom Menace is so adamant about Star Wars now having an SJW agenda is because of some statements made by the Disney higher-ups that essentially said that they want to make the Star Wars series more diverse to appeal to
Yeah, but get that. Now they're letting Favreau and Filoni do what they want, and the Phantom Menace still won't acknowledge that they're getting their wishes. There's a way to include people, but there's a way to do it right and wrong. And at this point, they're not even expressing anything good that's come out. They're talking about all the shit that they're even turning on Mandalorian now. Fucking grifters.
But it makes Star Wars more accessible to more people, which is a win for them. Like this is such an innocuous statement that I genuinely don't know how you can have a problem with that. Quite frankly, women in my
Who the hell's calling me?
I could use Yuna's help.
Ooh, I got shimmering tower keys.
Here you are.
Quiet. More guards ahead.
All right, everybody. Here till John comes back. So, how's everyone's day going? Christopher Barker, I like the fact that you know a lot about movies and stuff. You should watch a channel I know called The Movie Doctorful, who does a series called Diamonds in the Rough. Ooh, Nina's Veil, nice. Oh, the Sailor Moon is really good, actually. I love Sailor Moon mangas. Ooh, nice. I love the fact that how the manga takes a more darker turn.
I'll find Lord Shimura.
Good luck, Jin.
Ryuzo. The Khan put a bounty on the coast. Anyone can claim it. You wouldn't. Help me save my uncle, and he will be he will make you samurai. Then he'll send us to die, just like he did at Komoda Beach. Ryuzo is your family, Jin.
Yes, Crystal is horrible. I will be honest. Definitely, for sure, the dub is horrible, my friend.
Okay, there we go. I was on the phone.
No. Alright.
Alright. What was I doing? Oh yeah, because I heard you saying something, but I was away from the microphone.
I was talking to our friend about our friend Christian Barker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, while you were basically on off camera. I'll be honest, this is like the calm before the storm.
Mm-hmm. How in the fuck? I just had full health and this boss hit me 2 times and my bar is about to go down. That's no fuck. I've never had this problem on this boss battle before. 2 games on new gameplay. You're gonna notice something, Conundrum? Keo and Libra think I'm cursed because it's like when I beat a game the first time, never have problems or issues, but then the second time around, shit starts happening that never happens. Like this boss I'm fighting right now, he hit me twice, my entire health bar went down. And I'm fully powered up. Like that makes no fucking sense. And now they're gonna make me do it again, and they give this character the OP abilities that I have. And there's nothing in the game's mechanics that tells them that they could do that, or tells you that that's something they possibly can do. I just blocked that. Oh my god. See, I block all these attacks. He breaks my block. That's impossible. My armor also prevents 50%. Each armor I have prevents 50% damage. So I'm protected by 200% damage. And yet he can still kill my armor. Oh my god, you can't do that, Ruzio. You've never done that before in the fucking game. How all of a sudden you have all these moves that you've never done in any playthrough I've had with you? See, I'm already dead now again. The fuck? Because it's like, he'll also, if I'm standing far away from him, he'll lunge at an unrealistic distance to me and break all my combos, which that's not how that works. And the sword style that's supposed to be effective against him, he's acting like he can't be phased by it. The damage output I should be giving out also should be 150%, and he's only taking 25% damage. He has no armor either. So tell me how that makes sense.
Shit.
I just blocked that and countered it. How are you fucking hitting me through my blocks, bro? You can block me perfectly, but I block you, it's like I don't hit shit. Oh my god. How in the fuck did you just switch from a blue to a red? And I've played this game so many times. These enemies don't have that. Not even Ruzio has that. So how does he have all these powers like a final boss? Or abilities? He does not. He's in fact the weakest character in the game, but yet the final boss is easier than him. That don't make sense.
Damn.
This is the only boss battle in the game I don't like because Ruzio is broken. He breaks everything you do, and he can kill you in 2 to 3 slices. And none of the other enemy bosses in the game, nor samurai bosses, can do this. Only him. See, he doesn't even give me every boss is supposed to give you the notification of when you can counter or block. He doesn't get them. He only gets them once. Other than that, you have to take a guess. if that's the one thing I can say about this game, that's bad game design that they have for Ruzio. Because the only thing that can kill him is special attacks, but you need the resolve meter, and he doesn't even. None of your hits are your hits are supposed to fill your resolve. My resolve doesn't fill unless I take damage, which is only exclusive to him.
Damn.
So that just shows you, like, why do they put players in such a position? And it's random when you can hit him. And the moment I fill my resolve, it's like he knows, and he starts throwing out all these broken attacks on an instant. Like what he just did there, I struck him first, I'm the one that just died, and he didn't. Or here's the thing, he only took 10% damage, and I just took a 50% damage strike. The show Loki's not focused on female Loki. She's not even female Loki. She's the Marvel's version of the Enchantress.
Yeah.
That was already confirmed. So, like, you see what I mean? They're changing the narrative.
Oh yeah, they're idiots. Neurotic, more like retard logic.
Oh my god, I just blocked that. Fuck you, Ruzio. You are not that strong. You're broken. That's the one boss I can say. If you watch this boss conundrum, you'll even agree he's broken. Like, how did they allow this to get past playtest? Because he could do shit that no other enemy in the game can do. And he's the first level boss, like, first true boss of the game.
Restart match.
Okay, I dodged all that. Fuck you. Even the air. Let's say if I'm near him when he attacks, the fucking air he swipes hurts me. That's what it looks like. I just blocked. What in the fuck, game? How did I take damage from a block? You don't take damage from blocks. Oh my god. You fucking bitch. I blocked every move. See, I blocked again. He cuts through the block. That's not possible. He just cut me out of my ultimate. You can't do that either. I prevent that. Knockback. My armor prevents knockback. So again, broken design. Oh my god, I blocked it again. How did he get out of it? He did it again. Yeah, but Chris, you see, I'm playing the game correctly. It's like suddenly this boss has shit that makes him so invincible.
Don't you love when that happens?
Yeah, it's like when you know what you're doing, and the boss suddenly does things that are not within their character's moveset, or like they do moves that don't even belong to them. He's doing all of my techniques, and he doesn't have my techniques.
Alright, I got Melina's size.
Oh my god. I hope you just saw that conundrum. He just kept... Okay, I stopped. I blocked... Like, he's supposed to do a single thrust and jump back. No, he kept running. As long as he was in the thrust, he just kept running toward me till I took damage. But if I do the same move, he dodges them like they were nothing. Okay, my resolve meter should have gone up already. Why is it not going up? Oh wow, we're like neck and neck, and now the game wants to give him an advance. Yeah, fuck you, bitch. Chris, you have to block and evade. If you do one over the other, then they'll still do their broken moves. You have to do both.
Alright, I'll be right back. I have to take a whiz.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like some of the friendships, like Scarlett's friendship. The whole painting with her period blood.
Dude.
But the one I like is Melina's friendship with the tea party with the teddy bears, and her teddy bear has the deformed mouth.
That shit's funny. Oh wait, this guy's still crawling. Hold on, this guy's still crawling for life. Let me go back there and stab him before I go up and save the uncle. Where are you going? Hold still. I leave no stone unturned. Oh, why did I just do that? I could have just opened the door on him.
The one thing I would say I definitely hate from Mortal Kombat 11 was, why did I think the one who should have killed off Future Scorpion was Bihan.
Yeah. Not fucking Devora.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think the death should have been more like Bihan was going to kill the past Scorpion.
Mm-hmm.
So he jumps in the way. I think that would have been more interesting. But I really hated the fact they killed off Future Scorpion, because I actually liked Future Scorpion. The redeemed Scorpion.
You've survived.
He insisted he could save you. I thought it impossible. But I'm glad he proved me wrong.
I'm glad you're all here. We've lost too many friends.
And family.
And I wish we could have had Sector or Cyrex playable.
Avenge him and all the fallen warriors of Tsushima.
There's more coming.
We will face them together. For the fallen warriors of Tsushima, they need the circle. Let no one retreat. Fire on them, Sensei Ishikawa. We will cover you. Press your attack, Lord Sakai. Well fought. All of
We
you.
did it.
Alright, there we go.
Any tips on the Gauntlet Tower?
Shit. You need speed.
Okay.
I don't, Chris, I'm not a fan. I'm about to save the stream and get off here, but I'm not a fan of Star Trek, so I wouldn't have an answer on Discovery or Picard.
I don't like Picard. I think it's a character assassination of the next generation character.
Give me that 5-gallon of water.
But I will only say that I liked how Riker's character was portrayed.
Mm-hmm.
You have an impressive home. Won't you welcome me inside?
Why do I like that line, blood for blood?
Because it fits.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, I'm gonna send you a picture of my phone wallpaper, John.
Oh, okay.
Yo, that is awesome, actually. The guy. Where is it? No, I have to find it. I'll have to bring it up, actually. On Face. I have to look up my Facebook. Bring it up. I'll have to download it again.
Open the gate! Open the gate!
I'm just gonna say this about our good buddy Frost.
Mm-hmm.
Know what I think of when I see Frost is this. Let it go, let it go.
Oh, I can't look at that character. I never was able to look at Mortal Kombat's Frost the same. Was it good for you?
Like fucking, she looks like... yeah. My thing with Frost, she looks like fucking Elsa.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like a robotic Elsa!
I know you ain't lying about that.
Oh, the Conundrum. Well, I'll put a link to my channel in there for you.
Alright, let me
Because these guys are right about one thing. I should do some more mainline games instead of relying on the indie scene.
What do you think about like what you've seen like on my channels? You see all the different games I have on my playlist?
Oh yeah. Like I'm gonna be starting to do more Mortal Kombat.
That's a better start.
Yeah. Because I grew up on Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
God, I remember the arcades. Back in the day, me and my friends were the kings of Mortal Kombat back then. We used to play people for money.
I used to play them for, we used to play like in the arcade, we used to play for the credit coins.
The tickets, right?
Mm-hmm. And I would still get, not the tickets, like the coins that would be used to turn on the games.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Then take the tickets to the muncher machine.
Now, a series I would love them, Capcom to start working, really bring back is Darkstalkers.
Oh yeah. No. Port with the original game, Gauntlet Dark Legacy from the arcade.
Oh yes.
That was fun.
What about Yuna?
Yeah, she doesn't look too bad, but now she looks like a robotic Elsa.
The mainland. I will grant it when the seas are clear. Only if she helps me retake my castle. Uncle.
I actually like Scarlet because the way I have her in her outfit, she looks a bit like Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I even love her outfit, her Soviet outfit. I can make her into Black Widow almost.
Alright, there we go. I beat this part. So
you like the wallpaper?
Oh yeah, I do.
You know something? That's something you start using. I might use that for my title card for Melina's Feeding Frenzy. You saw the title card I made, right?
No, you never sent it, but send it to me on Discord. Anyway, everybody, there's me and Conundrum.
Right.
We'll probably be on later when everyone else is here. Ghost of Tsushima is the single-player game that I will be undertaking along with Dead by Daylight's current DLCs.
Mm-hmm.
So, Conundrum, you got any words for everybody? Your final piece.
Make sure to subscribe to the Emperor, everybody, because he makes the best content. Make sure to subscribe to Conundrum as well. I put my channel in there as well. And remember, from the Imperial Broadcast Station, somewhere in the known galaxy, you've been listening to the Conundrum and Emperor John Kill 3D. Take care.